Hey guys, so it is the 8th of November. I've just done a 16-minute run, which is just kind of insane to me. Like not 16 straight, but like 3 minutes, then 5 minutes, then 3 minutes, then 5 minutes. And yeah, I just can't quite believe that I've done that. Like I used to be so sedentary. Like if I ever had to run for the bus, I'd do it, but I would be on the bus and I would literally be pouring sweat, just like for like a 1 minute run or whatever. So I'm feeling quite pleased with myself that in 4 weeks I've managed to go from like running a minute to running 5 minutes. Like it's really hard and I kind of hate it, but still quite pleased with myself. Police 9. Oh no, it's an ambulance. Hey guys, so it's still Friday and I'm back from the cafe. So I read a chapter of my textbook again, and this time it was really interesting. It was about kind of the intersection between crime and gender, and then last week it was crime and race, and then I think next week it's crime and age. So yeah, and it wasn't really anything that surprised me, but it was interesting all the same. So I think my plan for this vlog, because I know I'm not doing much really, I'm having a quieter weekend this weekend because next weekend I'm going on my mystery holiday, so I'll have to record something about that as well, and kind of like, you know, how I'm doing it, where I think I'm going and all of that stuff, because I think that'll be quite interesting. So I've drawn quite a lot recently. I thought it might be quite interesting to have this be a little bit more of a kind of arty vlog, so you can kind of see yeah, I don't know, I would say see my process, but the nature of a time lapse is that it is just, hey, here's the art, look how it's made. So, but anyway, I thought that might be some quite interesting like visual stuff while I'm just prattling on. But yeah, on the kind of subject of art, I came across a video from Jazza, basically about his kind of opinions on AI and like generative AI being used to create art and stuff like that. Well, I have thoughts, not off the back of his video necessarily. Like I don't really think my opinion has changed, and frankly, like, although I think parts of his opinion I don't align with personally, yeah, it's not really changed my opinion, is my point. Like, I agree with some of what he said, I disagree with some of it. Isn't that life? But it just kind of prompted me to think, well, maybe if I'm doing a bit more of a kind of creative arty vlog, maybe it would make sense just as a, you know, cute little aside to kind of talk about my opinion on it. Because obviously I am a creative, I'm an artist, so I think I think I have a valid kind of take on it. One thing I did take from his video that I think is really important with most things really in life is the grey area and the middle ground and all of that stuff. I don't necessarily think it's healthy or productive to wholly only take one side or another, because I think the closer you get to the outer edge of that opinion, the less likely you are to be inclined to listen to anyone else's take on it. And then I think you end up kind of missing out like nuance and things like that, because it's very rare really that anything is black or white. Like there's always room for kind of a happy medium is what I always kind of refer to it as. Just I think with a lot of things, not with everything, but with a lot of things, I think there is a lot to be said for finding a happy medium. And if people were able, like collectively, to find that happy medium, I think things would be a lot less shit, really. You know, I think, I'm not saying everyone should think the same, because obviously that is a very dangerous route to go down, but I think there's a lot to be said for being able to hear someone out for things like this, where it's like a very divisive subject. I do think it is important to be able to hear both sides of the argument out and kind of come to your own conclusion on it. That all being said, disclaimer over, my opinion. So generally speaking, when it comes to AI as a kind of umbrella technology, I'm very intrigued by it. I always have been, you know, big sci-fi fan. I like learning about technology and kind of where we were and where we are now, and then where we've still kind of got to go. And anytime there's like a new technological release out, I find it really interesting. So the concept of AI, I know it like freaks a lot of people out, but I've always found it really interesting. Developing technology that is able to take the boring, repetitive, mundane things out of our lives so that we don't have to worry about them and spend time focusing on them. But then you can focus on other things that you do enjoy. Like for me, being creative, drawing, playing games, you know, watching Netflix, you know, even stuff like that. It just gives you a little bit more you time. And that's where I think that AI would be really beneficial. So I think that kind of thing could be so useful. Now, as I said, I'm a creative, and where I do kind of lose interest and positivity when it comes to AI is absolutely generative AI used to create art. So, and that's not a blanket statement. I think there are use cases for it where it's not kind of impinging on people like me, you know, but yeah, I think my overall view as an artist is that I really don't like, personally, someone being able to go into like DALL-E or whatever, write up a prompt of some art that they want to kind of envision, and then something gets spat out that has taken a sweep of like a bunch of different art all across the internet with no permission, all of the usual stuff, you know, and then it spits out some art, and then that person goes, brilliant, great, post that, oh, it's my art. I hate that. and the reason is because I think a lot of people on the pro generative AI side of it are going like, oh, well, you know, artists are just gatekeeping, God, like they want to keep all of the skills and all of the money and everything to themselves, and they don't want like little old me to kind of be able to enter their space, like, you know, oh, they're so holier than thou and all of that. And it's not that, like, for me personally, no, I would never gatekeep creativity. I think creativity is just an innately human thing. And actually, the barrier to entry is zero. That's the thing. It's like people saying, like, oh, you know, you just don't like it because, yeah, it means there's more artists doing art and stuff, and it's taking away from you. No, I mean, I don't make money from my art. I barely get any attention for it. I don't care. I don't make my art really for attention, and I don't make it for money. I make it because I want to, because I really enjoy doing it. So I really don't have a dog in the fight in that respect. It's like, I'm not angry that, oh no, you're going to steal my customers, because I don't have any. The reason I think I get so frustrated with the pro AI people's arguments when it comes to things like gatekeeping is yeah, that there is no gate to keep. Anyone, and I really do mean any human on the planet right now, could pick up a pencil, you know, get like a really cheap secondhand graphics tablet if they wanted to go digital, get a bit of paper, and you can draw. Now, it might not be spectacular, because a lot of artists have had to practice for absolute years and years and years to get to where they are. Obviously, there's kind of going to be a time involvement, because you're going to have to dedicate X amount of time per day or per week or whatever, however you want to do it, to actually become good. But I don't really understand why people are so desperate, instead of just trying and kind of putting pen to paper or whatever and just trying to draw stuff. I don't know why it's like, oh no, well, you know, let's just chuck some prompts into an AI engine and there you go, there's art. I really don't understand these people. I think most people who are turning to generative AI and are also seemingly really anti-artist are people that just want to make quick and easy money, and they don't really care about the ethics of it. I think people find it really hard to kind of be empathetic and kind of understand why people are so upset. I think they just get angry at the idea that people like me are upset that they've found an easy way to do something. And I think the more people that have a creative outlet in their lives, I think the better. I think a big problem with the world as it is that we just are so tied into just nose to the grindstone, working, you know, just keeping a house, spending money, capitalism, blah, that I think everyone could benefit from just having a creative outlet to just kind of do something fun and like produce something. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm really not like a gatekeeping artist. I just think it's so shitty that we have so much potential for this technology, and I just think it is such a shame that like the first thing that like we get this new technology and the first thing people do with it is, okay, well, we could apply it to these really mundane things so that people can just be creative or whatever. But no, we're not going to do that. We're actually going to take away the creative things and steal from people to make some bollocks, and you can keep all of your boring stuff that you don't want to do. It's such a shame. And I know, I mean, it's not the end for AI. Like, things will continue to be developed over time, and new technologies will come out using it, and things will, you know, more beneficial things will happen. But I think it's such a shame that the first kind of industry that this technology comes for is the creative industry. I guess, in summation, generative AI, I think there's a grey area in terms of where I stand on it, certainly. I think there are definitely some use cases for it in the creative space, but if you're a person that just chucks a prompt or two in and, okay, yeah, great, you take it into Photoshop and add a couple of bits, I'm sorry, you're not an artist. You're just not. And I would really encourage you to, instead of reaching for AI to build art for you off the back of other artists' really hard work, I would encourage you to pick up a pencil and learn how to draw yourself. That's all. Other forms of AI, brilliant. I'm right here with my popcorn. I'm so interested with where we're headed in terms of technology. You know, there's, for better or worse, really, because there's definitely going to be some negatives. I think it's very interesting. But yeah, so ramble over. Good luck editing, Verity. That's going to be fun for you. And yeah, hope you all have a fun and fresh week. Okay, so I added a bit more water to it, and we've gone from very wrong looking to slightly wrong looking. We're going in the right direction at least.